I just think that when all is said and done, I'm not a party guy.
But you may be wondering, Antonio, why are you so fucking lame? Well, allow me to introduce...
Thing Antonio doesn't like about parties number 1. Yup. Alcohol is a requirement for a good college party, much like how the letter P is a requirement for the word party. And hey, I can't blame people in college for wanting to drink now that they can legally do so. It's not like any of my peers ever drank underage.
Right?
But if you frequented a White Claw here or there in your day, you know what it does to you. But hey, if you can't beat them, join them, the murder victim says. If you're gonna be around an extensive amount of people shoving bottles of poison in their faces, you might as well make the best of the experience and do it yourself. Yeah, I discovered pretty early on that I have a fairly low tolerance when it comes to alcohol. It's not that I don't like it, it's just my body doesn't like it. I've frequented many an alcoholic beverage here or there in my day, but no matter what I seem to drink or how much of it I do, I always seem to have the same reaction.
You know what? That's actually pretty good.
Okay, in reality, all that happens when I drink too much is my face gets really hot and I get fairly bad migraines. Pretty sure I just have a larger than average intolerance to alcohol baked into my genetics. But this has caused me to stay away from drinking during most social events, and if I do get in close proximity, drinking is not for me. And it's a shame because this is expected to be the primary medium over which people my age are supposed to interact with each other. Which brings us to thing Antonio doesn't like about parties, number 2. People are scary. One of the main draws to going to a party is the amount of new people you get to meet. Considering these can have such a huge turnout and include a bunch of people around your age group, many of which you're more than likely to have never seen or talked to before, college parties serve the great purpose of allowing you to break through the confines of your normal everyday life bubble. Now, considering
He's a bitch!
I have a pretty hard time talking to new people. It's not that I don't like socializing, I just find a lot more comfort in talking to people I'm familiar with, and if I'm gonna mingle with people I'm unfamiliar with, I prefer it to be in a more contained setting. It's not a secret that I get a little anxious in social settings, and while most people are able to mask this within themselves through downing a couple dozen Modelo's, as we just discussed, this isn't really an option for me. It doesn't help that, from what I can tell, people that like to go to parties tend to be a little more eccentric and, frankly, can sometimes either be batshit crazy or batshit annoying. Whatever it may be, it involves batshit. Whether that's due to being under the influence or just a general disdain for human tranquility is a question I can't answer.
I'm not against people that like to go to parties. I'm just scared shitless of them.
Now, you may call me an antisocial bitch. The sentence is over. And man, I wish I didn't have this problem, because oftentimes I fear it can easily be interpreted that I'm just not a nice guy, but that's not the case. I just don't prefer meeting people over drinking games. I'm sorry! And that's not to mention the fact that I suck at beer pong.
Oh, I thought we were playing Farkle.
But hey, being that I'm so against the traditional college party, I might as well look for an alternative place to go to for my regularly scheduled peer socialization. Let's pull a card at random. Damn it. This is a bar, and here's a bear just to prove that I didn't spell it wrong. Bars are the quintessential place for people that want to party but don't have a party to go to, which makes them the perfect setting for not this. Listen, I've been to my fair share of bars before, and yeah, they can be a fun place to mingle with friends, much like how serial killers can make good arguments. But more often than not, they're just another excuse to get wasted on a weekend, which is why people in their early 20s flock to them like flies to honey. And college bars are just that. Bars meant for college students, which means they essentially carry the same air as a college party. Which leads me to thing Antonio doesn't like about parties, number 3. F these things. I don't like going to bars, considering I already have a low alcohol tolerance and get anxious talking to new people, especially in a setting where everyone else is drinking. No thanks. Most of the time when I go to a bar with friends, I'm just in it for the food, man. They are not my preferred setting for hanging out, not by a long shot. Bars just kinda stink. Literally sometimes. Now, overall, this might seem like a redundant inclusion amidst my protracted college party bitching session. Let's refresh ourselves on the list so far.
Why won't you take it?
But honestly, this pretty much all sums it up. I don't like college parties. They just don't have the type of vibe I enjoy for a social setting. And college bars are merely just vessels for college parties. They carry a lot of the energy that college parties have that I'm not fond of in places that I can't as easily avoid, especially if I want to maintain a reputation with my peers. But there's a reason why so many people like college parties, or just going out to party in general. There's a lot of fun to be had. You're in your 20s. You should enjoy this period of your life. You'll be up shit's creek with crippling debt before you know it. Regardless of my personal feelings about them, parties are a staple of the college experience. It's hard to deny that.